Hey, good morning, Andrew.
How's it going?
I'm good.
Good.
We got gangs of people coming in.
Awesome. It is that time.
Yeah. Get started, man. I like to get it
Starting.
going. Good morning, Gerald. Just how are you, buddy?
I'm reasonable.
I don't know why I always expect you to give me the V for the Star Trek sign, man. I don't know what's up with that.
I didn't even know that's what I was doing.
Hey, Mike, good morning, buddy.
Good.
You're muted, Mike. You're good. Good morning, Mike. Good morning. Good morning, Tisha. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Good morning.
Good.
How are you guys doing today?
We're good.
Good.
We're good. We're just waiting on our speaker here.
Okay. No problem.
That's always a good thing when you have your speaker. Otherwise, I had to get Mike to talk.
Good luck with that.
I was about to say, I don't know Mike, but I'm sure Mike will do a wonderful job.
Yeah, well, I know Mike.
You're muted again, Keith.
No, I'm good. I can hear you.
Yeah, I know, but I'm going to mute you.
I figured it was something cute, buddy. Good morning, Jerry. Obviously, we didn't have any technical problems today, right?
No.
We did. Okay, good. Good morning, Alex. How you doing?
Morning, how are you?
I am good. So we'll get this thing rolling here, and just I'll try to give her a minute or two to get us. But in the meantime, a couple of quick things while we're up. Next week, I intend to have a meeting with the local Indianapolis group. We got some administrative things we need to talk about. All of you won't probably get the email, but if you're from Indianapolis, you'll probably get it. We just need to figure out how to move forward in pandemic. I'm not clear where we're going and what we're going to do, so we'll deal with that next week and have a kind of a discussion on that. I'm sure Gerald will have some input as to how we should move forward, so we'll deal with it. A couple other things administratively here while we're still waiting on our speaker. And she has not called me. So in the event she does not make it, we'll figure out what we're going to do. But a couple of other administrative things real quick. Hey, make sure you guys check your calendar. We've got Andrew coming up. We've got a couple of other people coming up. Tisha's going to be a speaker here. So just make sure. We are also booked. She can't get in, so I'm going to resend it to her. But as I'm doing that, you guys just carry on for a second here. I'm going to go out for a minute, but check your calendar. We are booked all the way up through the first week of February. So just check your calendar. And so I'll be looking for speakers after that. So just give me a minute so I can go out. John, talk about something, real estate, the moon, I don't care. Just give me a minute so I can get Gloria going here, okay?
You give me too much credit, Keith. I'm not an astronaut, but yes, I'm a residential real estate agent in Indianapolis, and life goes on. It's this past week I had some activity from investors, both foreign and domestic, here in central Indiana. So that's interesting. And I hope to look at a few properties yet today on that front.
Commercial properties, John?
Residential.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing? Who are you connected with?
I work under FC Tucker. Okay. Where are you, Jerry?
I'm in Columbus.
Okay, sure. So FC Tucker we only operate in Indiana and Kentucky. But we are the oldest and largest real estate firm in the area. One of the oldest and largest in the country, over 100 years, over 1,000 agents. We do have a commercial arm, but I'm licensed in both, but I only do residential.
Hey, John.
Yeah, Mike.
I have a question. I live in a condo, and I'm on our condo board. We have one that's getting ready to be sold, and the buyer's mortgage company is asking for a fidelity bond in a weird amount, like $39,600. I have no idea where they got that number. Do you have any experience with mortgage companies requiring fidelity bond coverage?
No, that's new. That's new to me.
Okay.
It's new to my ears.
Okay, because we don't have that limit, and so the guy's asking us as a board to increase our coverage so he can buy this condo. My response to him is, I don't think so. Find another mortgage company or whatever.
Yep, I think that's a fine response.
Okay.
I'm back now. Good morning, Gloria. I don't know what happened there, but we worked it out.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good. Hey, Rhoda, good to see you guys.
Yep.
So we are. I think we're okay. Hey, so I want to get rolling this morning, and spend just a couple minutes doing. Let's do our little introductions first. I'm going to start out with me because people have been sending me little notes say, Keith, you never introduce yourself, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm not a star, so I didn't really need to. And also, most of the time I'm old and I just forget. I mean, that's the bottom line. I just forget. So anyway, my name is Keith Rand. I'm out of Indianapolis, Indiana. I own a company called First Quality Printing here. I also coordinate the Zoom events for Circle Business Network, CBN. So from that, I will introduce each of you, give you about a minute or so to talk about yourselves. And I'm going to introduce you the way I see you on my screen. So if you don't mind, if you're not being introduced, if you will mute yourself, Rhoda and Gloria, if you guys would mute yourselves. And then I'll save Gloria for last because she's going to do her own intro because she's the speaker today. So the first person up will be Andrew, please.
Hey, everyone. So I work with people who want to eliminate awkward pauses from their conversations. So if you know anyone who wants better leads from their virtual business networking over the next 3 months, I would sure like an introduction to them. And I'll tell you why. It's because they're interested in connections and relationships and not wasting time, and have a very efficient 5-step process that helps them with that. So if you hear of anyone that recently joined a chamber, or recently joined a networking group, or is ready to quit a networking group, or wants to be more clear and concise when they describe their work, could you ask them this question for me? When was the last time you reviewed your business networking strategy? My name is Andrew Winnig, and I am the elevator pitch coach. Great to be here this morning.
Thank you, Andrew. And just as a reminder, 2 things. Please make sure you let us know where you're speaking from. And then also, as a reminder, just like Andrew did, tell us what kind of client you're kind of looking for here. All right, Mr. Cowan, Gerald, please.
I'm looking for, I'm a lawyer. A couple of things. The most recent new clients I've had is a gentleman who called me. His wife was in the hospital. He needed a power of attorney. I was able to get that prepared and get it out to him. And then he's going to have the hospital personnel do the witnessing to protect in case he needs to move any assets or any properties jointly held. A power of attorney will avoid the necessity for a guardianship. Another issue, I've had a longtime client whose granddaughter has a trust, and the trust is with one of the banks as trustee, and the granddaughter apparently is not getting enough money. So she wants to change trustees, and in reviewing the trust agreement, it appears as though there's no removal clause in the trust agreement where the beneficiary can remove the trustee. So we're going to need to file in court a petition to remove the trustee, and hopefully the current trustee will consent, and a new trustee will come forward and take over and give the granddaughter all the money she wants, because there's plenty there. It's just a variety of things, but mostly to do with wills, estates, trusts, guardianships, powers of attorney, living wills, healthcare appointments. And with COVID now, powers of attorney in case you get sick, living wills in case the bell's about ready to ring for you, so the family has peace of mind to know what you want done, and someone to be appointed as your healthcare representative in case you're unable to make your own healthcare decisions. This is a wonderful thing you can do for your family, especially your children. Over and out, Jerry Cowan, lawyer, Indianapolis, Noblesville, Fishers, Carmel, and anywhere in the world.
Thank you, Gerald. As usual, unfortunately, somebody has to follow Gerald, but hey, thank you so much. Mike, if you would, please.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Chambers. I'm a Northeast Side Indianapolis resident, a longtime CBN member. Worked for the last 50 years or so in the insurance business, independent insurance agent with Central Insurance Associates. I'm in the process of winding down my business and getting ready to be 100% retired. So good morning to everyone.
All right, Mike, good morning. We got a visitor this morning and who will also be a speaker. So Tisha, if you would, please. Hey, and make sure I'm pronouncing your name right.
Yes, you are. Tisha Ennis. Nice to be here this morning. Nice to meet everybody. This is my first time attending. I figured I want to at least attend a few of these before I actually have to give my own presentation just to meet you guys. So thank you for having me. I actually live in Houston, Texas. I've been here for 3 years and I own 2 companies. My first company is an R&D consulting firm called Carlos Consulting. Carlos is my middle name. And for that business, I'm looking for anybody who wants to work with me for both packaging and formulation development. So I've worked in that industry, the R&D industry, for over 20 years. So I help either small businesses or larger companies drive projects forward for commercialization. And my second company is I just started back in August, which is a fragrance venture. And so anybody who wants to customize and create their own fragrance, please feel free to reach out to me. I know the holiday season is coming up, and that's actually what I'm going to be talking about in January, is in regards to pivoting your business during COVID, which is something that clearly a lot of us have to do. So just some lesson learned from that perspective. January 21st, I think, is when I'm supposed to be presenting. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. John Vandersall.
Good morning, CBN members and guests. John Vandersall, a residential real estate agent with FC Tucker in Indianapolis, Indiana. I live in Broad Ripple, Marion County, and service Marion County and surrounding counties. I work equally with buyers and sellers, and also sprinkling a few investors in there from time to time as well. I'm excited this week. Tomorrow, I'm going to an auction at a single property, 46219 zip code. I may or may not be representing a client, but I'm going to go regardless, just for my curiosity and research. So I'll report back with you on that one. But yeah, real estate's good, and nice to see everyone this morning.
Thank you, John. Alex, if you would, please.
Sure. My name's Alex Gray, live in Zionsville, Indiana. Own a company called Opine Interactive, do website and email hosting, which I'm currently in the process of winding down to focus on other investments.
Oh man, you're always short and sweet, Alex. Jerry, if you would, please.
Me, Jerry. Just wanted to make sure. Hi, Jerry Luco, and I have 2 businesses, ATD Business Consulting, which is business services, and including lead generation and some other initiatives that I'm starting up, and Franchise Business Source, which is franchise consulting. So I help people that are looking to own a business but don't necessarily want to start from scratch. I help them determine what the type of business is that they really need in terms of involvement and investment levels, and what they like to do, like how they like to spend their time in a business. And then I do the research and present them with several options that would, kind of check the boxes according to what they said they like and don't like. And really just kind of follow them through the process and guide them and help them learn about how franchising works, and introduce them to people that can help them with funding or with legal issues, and just so that they end up owning something that they love with all of their heart, and want to grow into a big old business.
Thank you, Jerry. Hey, there was, Jerry, do you read the Wall Street Journal?
Sometimes.
Yeah, there was a big article about franchises this week, specifically.
Really?
Yeah, dealing with franchise relationships. I may get with you and have you do a presentation on dealing with franchises and franchise relationships. A lot of litigation, of course, a lot of positive stuff, but also, just a lot of stuff you need to be aware of. So, hey, Rhoda, if you would, please.
Good morning, everyone, from Indianapolis, Indiana. And my team helps people tell true stories. And the next time you go on a website, look for two things. One is, do they have a blog tab at all? And if they do, how old is the latest post? Because the most common phenomenon that we found is that people start a blog understanding that it's important to have updated content on your website, but then somewhere along the line, it just gets too much to do what they do and also talk about it. So my team and I at Say It For You, we step in and do that for them. But the second thing I want you to notice is, imagine that you're going to be a prospective customer of that business or a client of that professional. And what is it that you really want to know? And I think you'll learn that you want to know what they know, of course, what they do, what they have, but you also want to know who they are. And the website first page needs to tell you, why do I feel comfortable dealing with these people versus everyone else who are their competitors? So we help people show and tell who they are, in addition to what they do, what they have, and what they sell. So Rhoda Israelov in Indianapolis at Say It For You.
Thank you, Rhoda. And Gloria will do her introduction here in a minute. Just want to say a couple things real quick. We've done a really good job this year of being involved and staying connected. And I just always like to remind people of why CBN exists. And that is, we are here to make you smarter. We recognize now that our network extends beyond Indianapolis. So we may or may not be able to business-wise interact, but we want to make sure that we support all businesses, all sizes, all people. And so I just wanted to make sure that that's really clear. Why you're here this morning is, hey, you get an opportunity to practice your craft in front of people, to do your pitch in a place that you can feel comfortable with people who we're pretty easy to get along with. So that's my kick, and I'm sticking to it. With that, I want to introduce Gloria. Gloria is going to do her own introduction, but she is not in Indianapolis, and this is a perfect example of what's going on in the world and throughout America. And so I want to introduce Gloria. And Gloria, it's the Gloria Show now, if you would, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Rhoda, for inviting me. This is an awesome opportunity. I do appreciate it. So just a little bit about me. I am Gloria Thomas, and I live in Columbus, Ohio. I am a mother of 3, a grandmother of 11, and a great-grandmother of 7. And what I'm about to show you is something that came to us because of our interest in travel. My husband was in the automotive industry, and he was in it for about 40 plus years. The last 10 years of that, he did training for his company and did training around the world, and I got to go with him. So with that came kind of a travel bug. So when we retired, we wanted to travel, but couldn't travel the way we wanted to. And then a friend of ours shared this concept that I'm about to share with you. And we have been able to take many trips. The first year that we were part of this organization, we took 9 trips, and that's on a retirement income. So travel is for everybody. If you think it's not, then you're about to see something that'll change your mind. So I'm going to share my screen.
You're a co-host now. You should be okay.
It's not going still. Let me see again.
All right, let's try it again.
So what I'm going to be talking to you about again is travel. And travel is a $9.25 trillion industry. It's bigger than gas and oil, computers, automotives, wellness, and Hollywood pictures all combined. And so people are asking, after the pandemic, will travel ever come back to where it was before? I think so, because it's such a big industry. And people are still traveling even now. There are some destinations that are still open. As the time that I put together this slideshow, 32 destinations were still open. So there are places that you can go if you want to travel during the pandemic. Why should you book a winter holiday? Well, right now, fares are cheap, okay, and they've relaxed a lot of the itinerary changes. So you can change your travel, your itinerary travel, your flights, etc., without having a fee on most of them. Okay. And then flight options now are better than what they would be later when everybody starts to travel again. Since most of the airlines have downsized, it's going to take a minute for them to get back up to full capacity. So in the beginning, flights may be pretty full and some flights may be unavailable. Okay, and where can you go? Right now, all-inclusive resorts are succeeding during the pandemic. In other words, you can go there and count on having a quality control standards with minimum risk. Because their businesses rely on travel, they have stepped up their cleaning, sanitizing, etc. But when you go to a 5-star resort, like the ones that are offered in our platform, those are always really, really clean, really, really up to par because it's a 5-star. There are no crowds and social distancing is enforced. The resorts are now 50, 60% full, which means that if you wanted to get one of those little lounges, normally you wouldn't find one, but now no matter what time you go out, you'll probably find one. And there's no need to venture outside the resort. So you're going to be limited in the contact with the people that you come in contact with, but you will still be able to dine. You'll be able to go and see a show. You'll be able to do any number of things that you want to do right there on the resort. Okay. And the value is better than ever, really, because the prices right now are very, very low. Our company has received 50 plus awards in all over the world, really. We are the #1 travel club in the world. So we've received accolades from all different continents. Now, what I'm going to be talking to you about is wholesale travel with our gold membership. And with that membership, you get a booking engine, and the booking engine is the same pretty much, or operates the same pretty much as any other engine, but you'll be getting wholesale prices. So you can get hotels, cruise packages, cars, you can get flights, you can get rentals, you can rent resorts, whatever you need to do, it's right there for you. So because this is a business platform that I'm speaking to today, I'm going to look at hotels and compare them to booking.com, which is a very popular site that people go to book. And so with our platform, you're going to be staying at the Conrad in Chicago. It's a 5-star hotel. If you look on the right, you will see the booking.com and versus what our prices will be. And you see that you save $263 on that booking. This is for 5 nights. In New York, you're going to stay at the Hotel Indigo. Again, the savings, you can tell. Huge savings, $405. The Waikiki Beach Marriott in Honolulu. Hawaii can be very, very expensive, but you save $720 booking through our engine. And if you're going on a business trip, you may as well make it a little vacation on the side. This is huge. I just talked about all inclusive. So this is an all inclusive at Los Cabos, and you're going to save $708. This is for 2 people. Again, Conrad Hilton and Bora Bora, 5-star, saving of $1,900. Pretty amazing. Okay, so what I'm talking about is dream trips. And what are dream trips? Dream trips are 4- and 5-star vacation at exclusive member only pricing. There is a host. And what we mean by host, there is going to be someone on site who can help you with any of your travel needs or questions, or they can make reservations for things that you would like to do. They know the area and can tell you the best spots to visit. The company handles all of your reservations and planning, and this membership includes your spouse or significant other and any children that are in the household agree. How can we offer these prices to you? It's because we have leverage buying. It's hundreds of thousands of members around the world, and we ensure that you get the very best value. If you were to go to a store, your corner store, and you buy a bottle of water, it might cost you $1, $1.50. But if you went to your warehouse store like Costco or Sam's Club, you'd buy a case of water. And that would bring the cost of that bottle of water down to 10, 15 cents. So Dream Trips buys travel like you would buy water, okay? Which means that we can pass on the savings and the discounts to you. So when we buy a room at a hotel, it is going to be 5,000 rooms instead of 1. And so you get the savings. And then we put it all in a travel app. It's in your phone, it's in your hand, wherever you go, whatever you're doing, you can always go there and look up things on your travel app. So if you're in a different city and you decide that you want to do some activity, you visit some museum, whatever, you can go to your travel app and check out the prices, and 9 times out of 10, it will be at a lower rate. It will at least be competitive. All right, so let's look at dream trips. Okay, this is a dream trip to Las Vegas. It's 4 nights, 4 days, 3 nights. And look at what it includes. The value on these trips is amazing. You're going to stay at the Mirage. You're going to get tickets for the Beatles show. Your resort fees and taxes are included. Now, one thing that people don't realize sometimes when they go to some of these resort type places is that there is a resort fee, and those fees aren't necessarily cheap, but we've included that along with the taxes in the price. And then you get round trip transfers between the hotel and the strip, or whatever hotel you're staying on the strip. If you're going to Las Vegas, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to rent a car. So you need to get the transportation from the hotel to the strip, and we provide that. And look at the price. It's only $219 per person for 4 days and 3 nights, and everything that's included here. We are in 40 countries, and we travel all over the world. So here's one of our international dream trips, and this is to Dubai. It's for 5 days and 4 nights. And look at what you get with this trip. You get a half-day city tour of Dubai. You get a half-day boat trip at the Dubai Marina. You get a full day Hatta tour. It's a desert tour. You get a half-day nighttime city tour, welcome reception, and whenever you go on a dream trip and there's a host, you will have a welcome reception on the first day of arrival. And they will be able to tell you all about the area and all about what you're getting in your trip and answer any questions that you may have. And then as you look at this, you see some of the meals are included. The price for this trip is $659 per person. And you can't stay in that hotel that they're going to put you in for $659 for 5 days. All right, so now we're going to talk about anytime escapes. Now, dream trips were specific trips on specific times, specific dates, but at anytime escapes, you can go on at any time you want to go. They do not have a host, but they are awesome, awesome trips. This Anytime Escape is to Cabo San Lucas. You can go for 3 to 10 nights. That means you have to at least book 3 nights, and you can stay up to 10. And here's some of the things that you get. You're going to stay at the Nubo Hotel. This is a 5-star. And you get daily breakfast for 2 people. You have early check-in, late checkout. You have upgrade to the next room category if there's an availability. Okay, and then you get 20% discount on their spas. This is $179 per night. This one is in Orlando, Florida. A lot of people don't really want to go outside the United States right now to travel. So there are some things inside the United States that you can do. And a lot of people are taking road trips, and they'll just get in the car and they'll go to a resort and they'll stay at the resort and do whatever. So this one to Orlando, you're going to stay at the Lake Buena Vista Resort, which is right in the center of everything. Okay, so you will have access to all kinds of things: Disney, Universal Studios, and any other attractions that are around. $59 per night, which really is amazing. Okay, so our gold package is $199 one time and $57 a month. Now, this price may change, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes, but this is an amazing, amazing opportunity to get access to this kind of travel. It pays for itself really sometimes in the first trip that you go on. Now, something interesting has happened in our company. So what's happened with our company really, and this is very, very new, this happened within the last 2 weeks. 2 powerhouse companies are joining. Our company, World Ventures, is joining with Secret. Both companies are a part of the Direct Selling News 100 global companies, which means in the 100 companies globally, and they've joined forces. This is something that's been going kind of in the works for the last 4 years, and during this time, they were able to come to an agreement and come together, which means that I will be able to help everybody with energy, sleep, trauma, and weight loss. Okay, here is my information. If anybody wants to contact me, I'll give you a minute to do that. And then I am open for any questions that anybody may have. I tell you what, I'm going to put this contact information in the chat.
Hey, Gloria, just want to
Okay.
follow up with a couple of questions. I sent a couple of them in the chat. I saw something on the screen that talked about points. What's that mean?
Mm-hmm. Right. If you, any money that you put into the travel club, you get back in form of points, which will actually bring down the cost of travel even more. So you get the discount rate, but then after you go in and you total up everything, you get to take that amount of money that's in the point, that little circle that you saw, you can take that off the total of your trip. So you can save even more.
I had a couple of questions because me and my wife do travel we try to travel as much as we can. This issue of COVID is kind of real.
It is.
What's the impact on your industry and in terms of safety issues, et cetera, et cetera? Obviously, we expect common sense, but where are we at on that?
Well, like I said, there are some avenues that you can take. Some ports are open. Some countries will let you come in. Right now, I think the world is shut down kind of again. So it's going to be limited in the places that you can go. But some of the things that people are doing are road trips. And we've taken 2 since COVID started, and we've not had any problem. Basically, what will happen is that, you probably won't be able to go in some restaurants to eat. So what we've done is just go through a drive-through or whatever and ate in the car on the way. But then after you get to your destination, wherever you're going, usually you can find places to go, restaurants and things like that will be open. We've stayed at some of the better hotels, and they are very clean. They've stepped up their cleanliness, and they're very accommodating. So I think it's just like all the rest of us. We want our businesses to flourish. And so we're willing to do what needs to be done to make sure that happens. The other thing that people are doing are RVing, which puts you into your own environment. In other words, if you rent an RV, you're not going to be staying in a hotel. So you're responsible for your own cleanliness. You can judge how much social distancing you want to do. And so, yeah, you can still travel. It just takes common sense, like you say.
So Gloria, just as an aside, so what was your last trip?
Last trip was to Atlanta, and we visited with our son, and actually it was last month. He and his wife went to Punta Cana. It was his birthday last month, so they went to Punta Cana to celebrate the birthday, and we kept the kids. And then they were saying that everything was open. The hotel was at 50% capacity, and they did social distance, and they had the best time because it wasn't as crowded as normal. And then on the way back, my husband and I, we just stopped at certain places. We went to Jocassee Forge and had a chance to look at some of the scenery and the forestry. The colors were beautiful because the trees were changing. And then we stopped in Asheville, North Carolina, and went to the Biltmore and went through that. That was the first time that we had done that. It was something that we wanted to do for a very long time. And again, social distancing, everybody was wearing the masks and all of that, but it was a wonderful, wonderful trip for us this time. So whenever we go out of town, whatever we're doing, even if we're just going to visit the kids, we usually try to do something for ourselves in the process.
So, just an aside for business purposes here, how has your business grown?
Well, what's happened is a lot of people are, because of our secret connections now, we are on the grow again, okay? But when COVID first hit, we had a lot of people kind of back out because they were afraid. And I think the media doesn't do business justice sometimes when they do things like that. And it's been across the board that I can tell. I mean, it's just not just travel, it's been restaurants, it's been a lot of small businesses, things not happening just because of COVID, and I think it's just because people are afraid to get out and move about. But hopefully that'll change pretty soon.
John?
Yeah, Gloria, thank you for sharing. All sounds wonderful and amazing, and I'm going to go pack my bags after this call concludes. I do have one question. I'm intrigued and curious with the business Dream Trips. Where does or what role does trip insurance play with your offerings?
Okay, you can buy trip insurance. And the thing that I would say about that is anytime you're traveling that you're going to be going out of the country, especially, you want to make sure you have trip insurance. The thing that you need to be aware of right now is not all trip insurance covers COVID related things. So if you go somewhere and you come down with COVID, your trip insurance probably will not cover the charges related to that. So you will be responsible for having to shelter in place wherever you are. Any medical bills and all of that, will be on you. But trip insurance, yeah, we do advise that you get trip insurance.
So can it be bought through or with Dream Trips or something you'd buy a la carte?
Definitely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any other questions?
Hey, do you guys take care of air or just the back end?
Our Dream Trips are usually just your trip. Airfare is not included. And the reason for that is because we are in 40 countries. And so airfare is going to be different depending on where you're coming from. I mean, if you're coming from, I don't know, Indonesia or someplace, and you're coming to the United States and going to Las Vegas, the airfare is going to be different for them as opposed to us when we're here in the United States. So, airfare on our site is comparable to what's out there. So airlines, they're at the point where they don't really negotiate prices, unless you're going to do a whole plane full of people, that's not going to happen. However, through our site, you can book private jets. That's part of some of the memberships that's there.
Well, I'm going to get one next week then. No reason to hold up on that. I'm inviting all you guys. And Gerald's going to pay for it. So we're not worried about all of that.
That's awesome. Look, my bags are packed. I've learned, and I keep them packed. The only thing that I have to put in my bags now is the outer garments and whatever I'm going to need for wherever I'm going. So everything else is in the bag. It's packed. It's been that way for probably the last 20 years or so. So
that sounds like a win there. That's real interesting. Hey, it's so, once again, we always like to explore not only what you do, but like I heard you talk earlier about how you got into this. So like I understood your husband is traveling and everything. So what do you think about being in business?
About being in business. Well, I don't know. It's fun. I really, really like when people are able to join our membership and go places and see things they've not seen before. And the fact that our business caters to people. In other words, you're going to have a over-the-top experience. It's going to be awesome. And then when you come back, you've got to tell everybody. And that's exciting for me to see that people get so much enjoyment out of this. So yeah, I kind of like it. I like it.
Yeah, it has its days. Let me just say that. I've been in business for 30 plus years, up and down. And so, yeah, it has its days. It's a bit of a challenge sometimes. So it's very interesting.
Sometimes, yeah. But, and I think because we're not brick and mortar and we can talk to people all over, and our company is a more casual company. It's not structured. So our business is fun, basically. And so that's why I like it.
So now how do you do, obviously you're doing your outreach and marketing with us and introducing and you're discussing. How do you do it when you're not doing us?
A lot of it's online, and sometimes it's just people wherever I am, just talking to people, and they'll express some interest in what we do, or I'll find out maybe you like travel and I'll ask you, if you're interested in looking at what we have. So just, just as I go, just daily stuff.
Okay. Rhoda, you're muted.
Gloria, tell us about the quarantining requirements when you go certain places. How does that work, and does your company help people navigate that?
As you know, quarantine protocols are in place wherever you go. So wherever you go, you need to make sure that you check ahead to see what the protocol is in that place. So if you're going, I don't know, out of state or out of the country, you definitely need to make sure ahead of time what the protocols are. If you call our company, they can probably tell you, but it's going to be the same that it is anywhere else. You wear your mask, you take your hand sanitizers and your wipes and that. When we went, I did have the hand sanitizers, I had the mask, I had the wipes, and I had the spray. And so, you go into a place, if you're not sure, you don't feel comfortable, you can always wipe it down, spray it, whatever makes you feel comfortable. When you go outside, also, you got to wear your mask. And it depends on where you're going. And I would say you might want to check with the government sites of that state if you're in the United States, and just check out to see what their protocols are. I know in New Hampshire, I think it's New Hampshire, it's either New Hampshire or Maryland, you cannot step out your door without your mask on, which is a bit extreme, I think. But you just go to the government sites in that area and check out what their protocols are. There's so many of them, but the basic ones, if you follow the basic ones, you should be fine.
Okay. Anybody else got any other questions for Gloria? Not a problem. Hey, Gloria, thank you. I think we're all ready to hit the road to do something.
I know.
I'm even thinking about knocking on my neighbor's door. That's how bad this is getting, right?
Well, like I said, it helps me because I know that we are going. We've already got things scheduled for March and as far out as November of 2021. So right now, like I said, prices are down. You can get some amazing, amazing vacation packages that are out there. And you have the option of changing those with Dream Trips. Now, when you do it outside of Dream Trips, this is for anybody that's traveling, you want to make sure you check out their cancellation policy so you can make sure you get your money back.
So is it cancellation or is it deferral? Which one do you guys have?
It depends. And that's why I'm saying you need to check it before you go. Now with us, you can do either. So, if you do it someone else, I don't know, you just need to make sure you check out their policy before you go, before you book it, really. Okay. Thank you all. I appreciate you for sitting there listening to me. Hopefully this was beneficial for you. And if we can do anything to help you, by all means, let me know. Hopefully I can come back and talk about the secret part of our business. So.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Hey, appreciate that. Hey, like I said, there won't be a general meeting next week, but we do have a speaker in 2 weeks. We'll be dealing with some things in Indianapolis. Once again, appreciate you guys all showing up on a Thursday morning. You could be someplace else, but you chose to spend some time with some smiling faces. Everybody but Alex. Alex, we're going to teach you to smile, buddy, before this thing is over. Andrew, I'm looking forward to your speech. I've worked with a bunch of young men, and I'm trying to teach them to understand you got 30 seconds to sell me on who you are. You got 30 seconds, buddy. And if you can't get me in 30 seconds, I'm moving on. So this focus on elevator speech, it'll help me focus on trying to communicate as I mentor these young men. A little bit of time, that's it, because the rest of the world moves on. So that'll be a real interesting situation. Alex, just as a note, I'd like to do some kind of early in the year economic situation. Probably get with you and Zach. We'll do some kind of business overall forecast for 2021. Probably like to do that early in the year, sometime in February at the latest. So I'm just giving you a heads up on that.
Sure, no problem.
As for the rest of you guys, you know what? Have a good weekend. Tisha, you don't know this, but I like to end everything with a smile because I take a picture of this. I also remind you guys, this does get recorded. If it was something you shouldn't have said, it's too bad. We're going to put it out there. Hey, one last thing. I have one guy hiding in the bushes there. If you would take time and introduce yourself, Tony, I'd appreciate that, please.
So I am Tony Havich with PH2. We do environmental health and safety consulting and forensic engineering. We try and manage your risk to go to sleep at night. I've been dealing with some guys in the back of my yard taking out a tree, which is loud, and the dogs are barking and everything else is going on. And then I couldn't find my glasses. So, everything happens at once.
It's the way it goes. We also nicknamed Tony the Head because, as you can see, he just has head, nothing else. So hey, Tony, I need to get a hold of you later on after this is over with. Hey, thank you guys so much. If you'll give me a smile and a wave, I'm gonna take a real picture of this thing. What happens for those of you who have not been on this does get recorded, and we do put it out to our website so that you can come back and see yourself as a star at some later date. So with that, I'll see you guys all next in a couple of weeks, except for you guys from Indianapolis, and we'll be meeting next week. So I'll see you guys.